Hey guys, it's Drunken Furies and I'm back. This time I'm going to be introducing a new series to my channel called Rags to Riches, where I take a build from Rags to Riches. Now in this video we're going to be covering the Zealer. It's going to be a 3-part video, much like all the other videos that I'm going to do, where I show off low-end gear, mid-tier gear, and the end-game gear for a specific build. So let's not waste any more time, guys, and let's get into it. Now guys, I just want to start off by saying these videos are going to be geared more towards kind of certain people in the community. This one specifically for people who maybe have just started playing the game, people who maybe have taken a break and are coming back and just want a super solid set of gear that they can really start playing the game and start farming with it. Now, everybody's idea of what's low tier, what's budget, mid tier, high tier is kind of your opinion. But I think this is all fairly low tier gear, and it's gear that you can get just farming through the game, playing through the game like on a first playthrough. Stuff that you can get in like Nightmare farming fairly easily. So we're going to start with the stat points. Now I have enough strength to wear my gear, enough dexterity to give me max block, none into energy, and all of the rest of my points into vitality. Next we're going to get into the skill points. So I have max sacrifice and max zeal, and then going down you're going to also want to max holy shield. For offensive, we have all the prereqs for fanaticism, and then we also max fanaticism. As of right now, there's nothing into defensive auras. Now, the way that you want to prioritize your skill points is you want to max zeal first, because that's going to get you up to 5 hits. It also increases your attack rating and your damage. Then you're going to want to max out fanaticism. That also increases your damage, but most importantly, it also increases your attack speed and also gives you more attack rating. Then you want to max sacrifice, which is a prereq for zeal, which gives it 12% damage per level. Then, once you max those 3, you want to start maxing holy shield, which will make it easier and easier for you to hit max block. Now, I am only level 75, so I wasn't able to max Holy Shield, but once you do max Holy Shield, it gives a 15% defense bonus per level from Defiance. So once you max Holy Shield, you want to start maxing out Defiance. And it's as simple as that. So, Zeal first, then max Fanaticism, then max Sacrifice, then max Holy Shield, then max Defiance. Now you can kind of play with the setup a little bit. You can max Holy Shield before you max Sacrifice if you want that defense bonus. You don't want to put as many points into dexterity, you want to put more into vitality. It doesn't really matter, just kind of depends on how you want to play your character. But like I said, super simple. That's it for the skill points. Now for my Mercenaries Gear. So for the weapon, we're using an Obedience in a Thresher. It's not even ethereal. It's going to be better if you have ethereal. Now, a Thresher won't actually spawn in Nightmare. It'll only spawn in starting in Act 1 of Hell. You can spawn Colossus Volges in Nightmare, but the strength requirement is super high. So if you start farming in Hell, you can get your hands on a 5-socketed Thresher for an Obedience. It's a super solid, low-tier budget weapon for your Mercenary. Faster hit recovery, tons of enhanced damage, minus enemy fire res, crushing blow. It has the chance to proc enchant, which will up his damage even more, and even has strength, dexterity, and all resistance. Super solid. The highest rune is a foul rune, so it's extremely easy to make this rune word, and it's so good for your mercenary. Now for the body armor, we're using something super budget. It's a smoke. just a really, really good option. 50 all res and a little bit of faster hit recovery. Not really much else to say about it, but it's a super solid option for a low tier build. Now for the Helm, we're using Tal Rosh's, one of the best budget options for yourself and for your mercenary. It has dual leech, a huge amount of dual leech, 10%, also has life, has mana, and has all res. And now this mercenary is an Act 2 offensive mercenary, so we can get the Might Aura for extra damage. Now, you may find yourself having slightly low attack rating and it's hard to hit monsters, but you can go for a Blessed Aim mercenary instead, just to boost your attack rating a little bit. Your damage will go down, but it's not the end of the world. You're still going to be killing things very fast. And now guys, for the most exciting part about this build, this is going to be your gear. So for the weapon, I'm using an upped Shaled Head Striker. This is a super cool budget weapon. It has a fairly decent amount of enhanced damage, but it has two really important stats. It has max damage based on character level, so you're going to be getting more and more max damage as you level up. And probably the most important stat is the Deadly Strike based on character level for a chance to do double damage. Now having over 100% Deadly Strike won't matter, because once you reach 100 you're always going to be doing double damage. So a super solid budget option that can definitely put out a lot of damage. Now it will cost a pull rune to up an exceptional weapon. This was a battle sword, we upped it to a conquest sword. So if you don't have the pull rune, it's not the end of the world, but you will do a lot less damage. I think when I looked at it, it was about 500 less damage between the battle sword and the conquest sword. So you will do less damage, but you should still be able to farm like players 1 pits with no problem. Now the reason that I used a Saka quest and shelled this is because I'm reaching the 4-frame attack speed breakpoint for Zeal. Now it is really important that you reach that, because you're going to be hitting as fast as possible, having the highest amount of DPS possible. So upping it is optional, definitely better to up it for a lot more damage, but the shale is something that you need to do. You need to use the Saka quest and you need to shale this weapon. So for the Helm, just like the mercenary, we're using Tal's Mask, dual leech, a huge amount of dual leech, life, mana, all res. Like I said, it's an amazing budget option for a melee build. For the amulet, I'm using a cat's eye. It has 20% increased attack speed, so I can hit that 4-frame breakpoint of Zeal, and it also has 25 dex to help me reach max block. For the shield, I'm using a Rhyme, one of my all-time favorite rune words in the game. This shield can carry you through the entire game. Most importantly, all res, and especially if you make it in a paladin shield like this, it was 35 all res paladin shield, so I'm at 60 all res and cannot be frozen, which you need so you don't get slowed down from freezing effects, and it has 25% magic find if you're into that. For the armor, I'm using a Lionheart. This is a really good budget option. It gives you tons of stat points, it gives you life, and it gives you all res, even some enhanced damage to up your damage a little bit. You can also put this on your mercenary if you have some spare runes. The highest rune's only a foul rune, so much like the obedience, it doesn't take much to make this rune word, and you get a lot out of it. For the boots, we're using super budget melee boots, Goblin Toe for the 25% chance of crushing blow. For rings, I'm using a Mantled Heal for one of them. It gives me Mana Leech and 20 life. This is a super easy ring to come by, and the Leech is very important on this character. For the other ring, I'm using a rare ring with 8 life leech, a little bit of strength, and a little bit of cold res, just for more leech. For the belt, I'm using a gold wrap, gives me some magic find, and it also gives me the important increased attack speed so that I can reach that 4-frame breakpoint. For the gloves, this is another super solid budget option for a melee character. It gives increased attack speed, faster hit recovery, a little bit of minimum damage, and 40 life. And now for the charms, I'm using just a bunch of random life, res, some with some stat points, some FHR ones. This is stuff that I'd expect you to have just if you're playing through the game. There's nothing special. I just threw a bunch of random ones on. I didn't even fill up my inventory. So anything with life, anything with res, some stat points are all going to be super good on a budget character. Okay guys, now let's show you this build in action. Make sure we're on players 1. Holy shield, you can see max block. My res, that's decent. Good enough for now. You can use charge to run around places faster. Just make sure we get the holy shield on. About 2k max damage without the might. Let's see what we're at with the might. 1100 to 2400. That's pretty good. Mercenary is doing pretty much the same damage as us. That's really good. Obedience is so good. You can see that 4-frame Zeal. Super fast. Everything just gets obliterated. I am kind of having a hard time hitting stuff. We're only at about 62%, so you can go with the Blessed Aim Mercenary instead of the Might Mercenary. If you want to be able to hit things a little bit better. It will cut into your damage a tiny bit though. Archers. Archers are very scary. Having that mana leech is really nice. We are rarely using any mana at all. It's pretty much staying the same when we're attacking. Weapons about to be. Let's go through it fast. I think you guys get the point. It's pretty solid. Pretty solid. None of this gear is insanely hard to find. Oh god, more archers. Just in case. Oh, there goes the mercy. Archers are always so scary. Go. And there you go, guys. That's it. Super solid build with these kind of budget options. You can farm pits no problem, like I just showed you guys. There will be more parts to this video. I'll do a second part where I'll show off mid-tier gear options for this build, and then I'll have another one where I show the end game gear for this build. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what kind of builds do you guys want to see. Is there a specific build that you want more info on? Is there a new build that you want to start? Or what is your favorite build or character in Diablo 2? Guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Have a good one.